Hi, I'm Stephen.
Hi, I'm Matthew. Topic for today is Beyond the Hype, Practical AI Uses with NotebookLM and Gemini.
So, Matt, why should companies and organizations and individuals be looking at adopting AI now?
The tools are actually really useful right now. The second one is a little bit cynical, but I'll just call it like because your peers will be, because your competitors will be. And it's not to say that you absolutely have to use these tools all the time for everything. But if you're not evaluating them, if you're not educating yourself, if you're not familiar with what the capabilities are today, you even call this up, you're going to be playing catch up if and when you do decide to do that. And because the tools have the capacity, the capability today to be able to summarize, to make you more productive. And I don't, it's not like it's always about being more productive and printing out more widgets or whatever the thing is, but it's like spend your time in areas that are valuable, right? You're already experts at what you're currently doing. You can use these tools in ways that automate things that are boring, tedious, that, use the computers are what they're good for, use these tools for what they're good for, right? And so if you can save time, that gives you more time in the day, right? That's an important thing. But you can also enhance, right, some of the things that you could normally do. If I'm not an expert in one area, but I'm somewhat capable, if I can interact with these tools in a way that I can elevate what I would normally be doing, that's a good thing. Like if I would be otherwise blocked on a project or stuck on something, that's a great thing too. But really, for the most part, it's going to be about reducing toil, things that are not necessarily fun to do, that take a long time, maybe humans can do. Like, good news, Stephen, let's go read this 200-page PDF and summarize it, and then take all those notes and then go do something with them. I kind of want to just skip to the do something with them with references back, so I can go confirm, like, wow, this is a weird step. Where's this instruction coming from? And I can go back and see that. If I can save myself a lot of time there, that's kind of what I want to do.
If you're not using it as a company tool, your users are likely using it as a consumer tool. Having it being an enterprise controlled tool is definitely more on the safe side from a data privacy perspective.
Now that we've talked about the why, Stephen, tell me about Gemini. What is it? How does it work?
Gemini is the language model that underlies Google's artificial intelligence. It spans both Workspace and Google Cloud. So when we talk about Gemini, it kind of does get a little nebulous.
Before we get any of the fancy stuff, walk me through just like, okay, Gemini, I've heard about it. I want to go try it out. What does that experience look like? And how can I get started? Like, is there some special format? Do I need to know how to code? How do I make that thing work and do it at the simplest level? And how would I approach that?
The most straightforward way, you're at gemini.google.com. At that point, you have a drop down on the top and you have a text box on the bottom. In that text box, you ask what it is you want to find out.
So I'm interacting with Gemini, I'm asking questions, responses are coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Is the only way for me to get input in there just by typing away or speaking out loud? Or what else can I do to interact with it?
So again, because it's tied into the Google Workspace environment, you do have the ability to connect it to applications in Google Workspace. You can go to your Google Drive and have it summarize all of the files in a given folder. You can go into Google Document and have it restate or add a little bit of polish in an area that otherwise needed some work. Or you can have it just create something out of thin air for you, just given the bare bones of this is what I'm trying to get answered. So it interacts with you within the Google Workspace environment that you're currently in.
We've covered Gemini. We talked through some of the use cases. Tell me about NotebookLM. What is NotebookLM at a high level? Tell me a little bit more about that.
Gemini is the underlying language model. And Notebook LM is an application that's built on top of it, which allows the end users to kind of curate what they're wanting that language model to have an expertise in. So you can select sources from various different platforms, whether that's a PDF or a Google Drive document or a YouTube video or a web link, or even copied and pasted text. And then it uses that as a reference and grounds the language models, conversation and expertise, and source of knowledge to then provide answers, responses, summaries, etc.
Here's sort of the main interface for Notebook LM. This is where you can add sources. Basically looks like this. Discover is where we can actually go connect out to other sources. I'm not going to dive in too much here, but I just want to call out this is where you can actually pull down additional materials, not necessarily from your local sources. This is, again, a really important basic concept to understand in Notebook LM. If I only want to converse or understand or navigate these two documents, the way that I can select that is basically by toggling them. You can see that based down here in this little prompt where it says, how many sources are selected. If I were to chat here, it would work against these 4 sources. Similarly, if I'm going to go over here on the right-hand side and create study guides or FAQs, I can actually dial those in as well. The audio overview, obviously, a big hit. Having that sort of dialogue back and forth on these topics can take some dry content and make it more engaging. The interactive mode kind of takes that to the next level where you can actually go in and interact with it. Mind map, again, fantastic way to get in there and actually navigate the content that you have in a sort of a visual way. A lot of folks, again, you notice some of the things here. You can have audio, obviously the text, the interaction piece, but the visual learners among us can actually come in here and learn, interact with the content in a visual way.
Thank you, Stephen, for talking about these topics today. If people have questions, Stephen, I know you're around so that people can reach out. We can talk through licensing. We can talk through how to set this up at your organization in a way that's safe. Also, we can help work with you to be able to get you access to these tools and others. We have a lot of capabilities. We're happy to sync with you at any point. Just reach out. Thank you.